There are words used a lot in the legal profession, and appear at various legal documents. Damages. Money claimed by someone as compensation for harm done. For example, they were awarded $500,000 in damages. Arrest. To send someone to prison or to a court. For example, the police arrested her for drinking and driving. Judicial. An adjective referring to a judge or to the law. For example, a judicial inquiry. Innocent. Not guilty of a crime. For example, he firmly believes that she is innocent of the crime. Offense. Any act which is not legal. For example, driving without a license is an offense. Lawyer. A person who has studied law and can act for people on legal business. For example, she's hired a lawyer who specializes in divorce cases. Dispute. A disagreement or argument between parties. For example, the unions are in dispute with management over pay. Tribunal. A specialist court outside the judicial system which examines special problems. For example, they set up a tribunal to deal with the petty criminals. Case. A set of arguments or facts put forward by one side in a legal proceeding. For example, she accused her employer of unlawful dismissal and won her case. Judge. An official who presides over a court. For example, the judge will pronounce sentence on the defendant this afternoon. Plead. To make an allegations in legal proceedings. For example, the defendant pleaded innocent to robbery with violence. Defendant. Someone who is accused of a crime in a criminal case. For example, the prosecutor must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. Claimant. A person who makes a claim against someone in a civil court. For example, the claimant commenced this action to recover damages that were sustained while working for the defendant. Settlement. An agreement reached after an argument. For example, it now seems unlikely that it will be possible to negotiate a peaceful settlement of the conflict. Hearing. A case which is being heard by a committee, tribunal or court of law. For example, with a preliminary hearing, a defendant gets a chance to see evidence against him or her. Convict. To find that someone is guilty of a crime. For example, he was convicted of felony. Breach. To break a law, promise, agreement, or relationship. For example, they breached the agreement they had made with their employer. Prosecute. To bring someone to court to answer a criminal charge. For example, he was prosecuted for fraud. Appeal. To ask a high law court to change its decision or sentence. For example, I tried to appeal to his sense of loyalty, stressing how good the company had been to him. Accuse. To say that someone has committed a crime. For example, the surgeon was accused of negligence. Binding. Having the legal ability to force someone to do something. For example, the contract wasn't legally binding. Civil. Relating to legal disagreements between people or businesses, rather than criminal activities. For example, he brought civil proceedings against the police for false imprisonment. Contract. A legal agreement between two or more parties. For example, my solicitor is drawing up a contract. Criminal. A adjective referring to crime. For example, she may face criminal charges for lying to a grand jury. Jury. A court of 12 citizens who decide whether or not someone is guilty in a trial. For example, the jury delivered a verdict of not guilty. Evidence. A written or spoken statement of facts which helps to prove or disprove something at a trial. For example, the FBI has found no evidence of a crime. Fine. To order someone to pay money as a punishment. For example, they fined him $100 for using threatening behavior. Injunction. A court order telling someone to stop doing something, or not to do something. For example, the court has issued an injunction to prevent the airline from increasing its prices.